All right, Facebook family, welcome once again to another episode of Office of the Citizen. Today, I have with me Amazing AMEZE. For those people who knew us way back in in those days of Nollywood, um, when VHS was the real deal, Amazing AMEZE was one of the notable actresses of that time. Today, we found her and we're going to talk to her about her journey from old Nollywood and what she thinks about new Nollywood. Okay, it's a pleasure to have her with me because we have crossed paths on so many movies, and we'll be catching up on all our experiences today. I welcome you once again to Office of the Citizen, and I am interested to know what you think. I'm looking out to read your comments and I'll read your questions to her, and I'm sure she'll be happy to take them on. Okay. All right. Help me welcome to Office of the Citizen. Amazing, amazing. Okay. I hope I did not say online clinic because this is Office of the Citizen. I missed it too long.
Hello. Hi.
Welcome. Look at you. Look at you.
Well, look at you.
We
Look
meet
at you.
again. This
I
time
know.
without Austin.
I know, right?
This
I
is
think we do better
beautiful.
without him. We're
Oh Lord,
cool.
it's good to
He's the bone of contention.
know. Way back in the day, way back in the day, we're all done with that. And that
Yeah.
was a very interesting movie. That was the one movie I did. Suicide Mission, right?
hmm
That was the one movie I did where Junior died, and my daughter hated me for a long time for causing Junior's death. It's a pleasure to have you. Wow.
Thank
We
you for
have,
having me. Thank you. I'm so stoked to be here with you,
oh,
talking and catching up. So thank you. Thank you so.
yes, we have come a long, long way.
Yeah, girl, we have that. We have.
All right. What are you doing today? What do you do?
So I'm in the healthcare sector. Yeah,
Yes.
I'm a registered nurse and one of those frontline workers. So yeah, that's what I do. That's what I've been doing, and it can be tough. I mean, sure you know that.
Yes, I
You
know
also
that.
been in that sector. So yeah, but
Tell me
it has
about
its
it.
rewarding.
Yes.
Rewarding, yeah.
So now, I too am a registered nurse, and it's curious to know that you've been a nurse for close to 20 years. That's
Yeah,
fantastic.
yeah. It's
Fantastic.
I've been doing that. It's
It's a very grueling
it,
profession. Yes.
the wear and tear is a lot. The wear and tear
Yes.
is a lot. So yeah.
So we find that, the longer you stay in the profession, the more physically debilitating it becomes. So we branch out to different things.
Yeah.
I'm now a family nurse practitioner, and you were
Mhm.
out in the education
Yeah.
sector
Yes.
teaching
Yes.
nursing.
I run a
That's
university.
fantastic.
hmm
Now let's talk about old Nollywood. Okay, take
hmm
your mind back to the days of running in the bush, shooting on VHS. What didn't we do, right? Let's talk about Nollywood because it's fantastic to see how it has blossomed from nothing into a world-renowned industry,
Right.
right? Talk
Right.
about making something
Out
out
of
of
nothing.
nothing because
Yes.
they use sticks and stones and cameras and very rudimentary
hmm
instruments to put this together.
Right.
How did Nollywood get its name? Who called it Nollywood? Who coined it? Where did it come from?
Yeah, I believe it was someone, a journalist that was trying
Mhm.
to write about the Nigerian entertainment industry and
Yes.
just played on the word, where you have Hollywood and we have
Mm-hmm.
Bollywood. He just said Nigerian Hollywood, and that
Okay.
would be Nollywood, which
Yes.
is, it's, I guess it's something we should be, it's flattering,
Yes.
um,
It,
and it's fast growing, if not number two, because it's always slipping between number two and number three. Some people put Bollywood before it, some people put Nollywood before Bollywood, but the fact of the matter is that is up there. Okay,
yeah.
Hollywood is so much older than us. Bollywood is eons older than us. So we're just coming up, and if we're rivaling, we're doing a pretty good job.
Yes, but let me ask you, right now, being number three or number two, is it in terms of the quantity of movies produced, or is it in terms of quality? What do you think?
I think it's about the reach.
The reach.
I think it's the
Okay.
reach. Yes, I think it's the reach. I mean, because if we look at it um, in diaspora and not only in Africa, Nollywood movies are big. Not only just with Nigerians or Africans. I have met Americans. I've met people in the continental, Europe, where they
Mm-hmm.
know Nollywood. These are non-Africans, and not too long ago, I was actually interviewing someone, and he looked me up. He said he did, and
Mm-hmm.
then he was like, "You're from Nollywood." Well, I was impressed because I'm like, "Oh, you know Nollywood?" He's like, "Yeah, I do. I've been. That's one industry we need to keep an eye on." I felt so good, you know.
Yes.
So I think the popularity comes from the reach. The reach is vast.
Mm-hmm. All right. So considering that the reach is vast, and it's very true because people still recognize me from old Nollywood. People still talk to me
Yeah.
about this movie I did and that movie I did, and ask
Right.
why was I such a B word, you know?
Yeah.
And
You did
somebody's
that. You
commenting,
did that well, by the way.
thank you, and somebody's commenting that the Madame of Crying is here. So you did that very well. You could
I can't get
cry
away
on
from
cue.
that. I cannot get away from that.
Yeah, yeah,
So I was
that
like,
was
oh, here she
really
comes.
cool. Yeah, I'm not going to ask you to cry on cue right here because your makeup is too beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
All right, let me ask you.
Mhm.
Now, Nollywood, because of its reach, can influence a lot of things, especially intra African tourism. It can really bind us in today's world. Do you think that the quality of movies produced today will have the punch or the ability to, bind us together in terms of showcasing our culture, in terms of showcasing us as a people, you know, um, putting that message together so that Africans looking at it or Africans in the diaspora looking at it will still see themselves inside the movie. Do you think we're doing a good job in that direction, or are we trying to just copy what other people are doing?
I think it's a little bit of both. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think that the new Nollywood first just went after being Americanized, if you will,
Mm-hmm.
Americanized or just being copying um, what others have done before them. But I think there's a shift now happening where people are
Mm-hmm.
starting to want to identify with their heritage, because again, people are calling for that
Yeah.
because you can't be more Hollywood than Hollywood. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah. So I think there's a call for that representation.
Yeah.
People are starting to see that when you go for the overly Americanized or
Mm-hmm.
Europeanized type version of Nollywood. It's entertaining, but it's not gripping. So people are starting to call for, let's see the green, let's see the earth, let's see what you are. And that's the thing about Bollywood, as much
Mm-hmm.
as the technicality or technology, they're very good at that, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
But they're very authentic. They're
Yeah.
still into they export their heritage and their culture and what have you. And I think that's the way we need to be going. Having said that, I would tell you Nollywood has made leaps and bounds. And
Yes.
the movies coming out now can get nominated even in international film festivals. So kudos.
Yes, great. Now, talking about authenticity, right? In our time, there used to be a lot of, stories of love, romance, polygamy, where you and I fought, juju, and juju,
Yeah,
sacrifices, and things like that.
yeah,
But the society of Africa is changing,
it
right?
is.
What are
Mhm.
some of those things in the new Africa that should be reflected, that you think should be reflected in the stories we are telling now?
For one thing, I like relationship dynamics.
Yeah.
Marriage within the a generation and those coming up is changing. Men
Uh-huh.
are not giving to more than one woman. They really are not.
Uh-huh.
One thing that I know is also should be reflected is, and I feel strongly about this, the brain drain from the country.
Yes.
Not appreciating people for their talent and what they bring to represent the country. So you have that brain drain. You have
Yeah.
people leaving. You have doctors, nurses, even people in the industry,
Yeah.
leaving. So those are things I kind of want to see how people struggle. That interests me. I think we should showcase that.
Mm-hmm.
People getting frustrated with the system and leaving.
Yeah.
Another thing is, and I did talk about this in one of my interviews. I actually gave a talk, not an interview. I just made a video, which I'll share with you later if you haven't seen it, because on my
Mm-hmm.
Instagram, I talked about rape.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that is so rampant.
Yeah.
Um, Sexual harassment of women.
Mm-hmm.
We need to start encouraging our women. We need to start letting our girls know they have a voice and that we're behind
Mm-hmm.
them. Because for me, you get to a certain age or certain stage in your life where you start to feel accountable for those coming behind you. And that's what I talked about, because in my final year in the university, I was sexually assaulted. So, yeah, you can imagine how long that took. That was in
Mm-hmm.
'88. That's a long time ago.
Yeah.
And I thought, you know what, if I'm just going to use my platform, and I've been talking about it. I've got mixed reviews, but that's something I want our movies to reflect the ills, not so much trying to
Wash
create
our
as
dirty
an
linen in public, but to create a
yes, but we
consciousness
need
for
things
change.
that right,
Mm-hmm.
things showcase, but then give solutions with it,
Mm-hmm.
which in effect will affect our policies, because
Mm-hmm.
people in government will see it. They watch our movies, they watch Nollywood,
Mm-hmm.
So take Bollywood, for instance. I think very long time ago they had problems with the caste system and how women were treated, and they went on a rampage with the movies they did,
Mm-hmm.
and inadvertently that started to change the discourse and the direction in which the women were treated in a country. So it's something we can do also.
Yes, this is fantastic. So, telling our stories in a way to preserve the best parts of our society, to preserve the best brains in our society, as well as preserve our culture,
Yes.
right? Okay,
Yes.
this is beautiful. Now, you mentioned something about brain drain. Brain drain. Okay,
Mhm.
to me, this is a new form of colonialism, taking away. In the earlier times, in early history, it was taking away our raw materials.
Mhm.
This time is taking away the best of us. What
Mhm.
is causing, what is facilitating the drain is because of mostly because the government policies do not construct enabling environments or opportunities for the people. Now, reflecting this in our stories, like you say, we'll get to offices that matter. We'll get to the people who
Mhm.
are able to make changes. Let me
Mhm.
ask you about making movies to reflect what we want to see. Are you into or are you working on any production right now that will reflect these things you have talked about?
Actually, yes, I have. I'm collaborating with some people, and it's
Hmm.
still kind of on the wraps, but it's in the theme of um, how people misuse or abuse their power,
Hmm.
and that's something that's very rampant.
Yes.
Again, when I say this, it's not a Nigerian problem, but other people are taking steps, so we should join in the bandwagon. We need
Mhm.
our women to feel safe. We need our girls to feel safe.
Yes.
So, yes, I am actually in the rudimentary stages of um, coming up with a movie that tells that story of dealing with sexual assault and abuse of
Yeah.
power. Yeah.
Yeah. Recently, I read something about you returning to Nigeria with a production. What was that production about?
The production, it was just the production was about relationship dynamics, especially in a marriage, and it runs along the lines of um, suicide mission that you and I
Okay.
did. So
Okay.
it's the usual Nollywood themed,
Yes.
a man and a woman had been together, and what if your friend came in, and this time it was a friend,
Okay.
and things just went all right. It's called "I Got Your Back."
Okay.
So it was a play on words. I got your back. Wink, wink.
Yes.
I got your back. So that's what that was.
Really got the back.
Really got the back. Yeah. So that's what, and that's another thing that's quite challenging in with Nollywood. And I think again, it's a teething problem if they're working through it. Distribution, to distribute and market and get our
Hmm.
things out there in the proper way,
Yes.
and to be transparent.
Yes.
To be
Okay.
transparent.
I'm going to ask you about distribution in a minute and the influence of Netflix. But let me ask you this very sensitive question. In Nigeria, there are pockets of the population that are LGBTQ. What is your take on that? Because the legal system in Nigeria does not encourage it. Okay. The culture does not encourage it. But there are people in the shadows who are practicing these lifestyles.
Mhm.
What is your take on, first of all, their safety? Secondly, their rights, their to basic human rights and reproductive health rights. Would you encourage us putting their stories in movies to show or showcase their transition from, their transition or their ability to live in a society like Nigeria?
Thank you for asking me that.
Be
The
careful now.
movie. No, you know what? I'm really very comfortable discussing this because the movie I'm actually talking about takes. There's something that's been, that topic has been touched. This is something Nigeria needs to know. It's not, the world is a small global village.
Yes.
Okay, so whether they like it or not, sooner or later they're gonna have to jump on the bandwagon. Okay. My take on LGBTQ, for a long time, even before, again, because you and I work in the health sector, it's not about you. You've got to be culturally sensitive. But whether you like it or not, you really do not have rights over people's lives. It's not about you. I've always been that way. It's not about you. You cannot impose. Well, yeah, maybe your faith and my faith does not necessarily encourage it, but everybody has a right to life. You cannot judge. You shouldn't play God.
Yes.
So I would talk about this any day, anytime, anywhere. You don't
Mhm.
have to like me, but this is where I stand. They
Mhm.
have rights. You
Yes.
cannot play God. Let God play God. You play you. And one of
Yes.
the things God told you is be accepting of your neighbor. You love your neighbor as you love yourself. So if you're
Yes.
doing that, then we won't have problems. So do not. It's just the same thing over here where I have a problem with. Okay, you want me to? Are we good? Are we
Thank you. We're good now.
good? It's just the same thing I have over here, and I'm sure in
Yes.
other parts of the world where men, okay,
Yes.
have a say over a woman's body. I'm sorry, but F you. I'm sorry, I shouldn't use that in your
Oh
presence.
my goodness.
But seriously, no, because it irritates the heck out of me.
Yes.
You're
Okay.
not a woman. You're not. So it's the same thing I have with LGBTQ. Whatever floats your boat. I can't play God. I'm
Yes.
sorry. I'm just too fearful that way of God.
Okay. So sorry about that break in transmission.
And
Somebody got
sorry about the bleep that
somebody,
out. I just got carried
sorry
away.
about your French. That's okay.
Yeah, my French.
Um, somebody commented that I'm always messing with my glasses, but I like to look nice by taking them off. But when I take them off, I cannot see. So I press buttons I should not be pressing.
You know what? I'm going to support my sister there because I wear glasses too. But see, I'm at the receiving end now. I don't need to wear glasses. Okay.
Oh
So, in
my
support of my
goodness.
sister, we need glasses.
Yes. Oh, we've come a long way. If that helps, let's use it. Okay. So, all right. So let me ask you about all right, my position on the LGBTQ is that you will never look into the eyes of someone God does not love. So allow God, like you said, to play God. Let us be our brother's keeper. Let us love each other, and let us live and let live. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
All right. So talking about distribution and getting things done properly to get our movies out there, to be able to get it together in the business part of it, right? Talk to me about Netflix. What do you think about the presence of Netflix in the Nigerian entertainment industry?
I think it's good. Any medium, any avenue, any source that we can use to get our messages, um, creative outlets out there, I think is a great thing. I really think it is.
Yeah.
Netflix is not stupid. For Netflix to go over there, they know what's up.
Uh-huh.
They know we've got to wait, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm really pleased because there's, do you know how many countries there are in the world? So if
Yes.
they're going to Nigeria, come on, girl, they know what's up, they know.
Yes.
And so I'm happy about it. I also, however, want to also encourage um, indigenous, right? And
Mhm.
those indigens, those that are
Exactly. I was
Iroko
coming
and
to
all
that.
that going in there. I
Yes.
don't want Netflix to play Monopoly
Yes.
because that can very easily happen.
Yes.
So I don't also want people because the thing is, it's exciting. You know, it's exciting. I see that, but we
Yeah.
also have to be very careful not to sell out. You know, like
Yes.
we also, because it's always good to keep power. You know, don't give your
Hmm.
power away. So Netflix is nice. It's got a nice reach, but there's so many other things that we can be Netflix too. We can have
Yes.
Netflix. So yeah,
That was what I was going to come to because
yeah,
I was wondering where all the money was going. If
yeah,
Netflix has monopoly over, showcasing Nigerian production, where is all the money going?
yeah.
Are they reinvesting in the community to
Probably not.
support and encourage the local artists or local producers who are putting this together? There's
Hmm.
another complaint I got from somebody about Netflix. They deal with a particular set of people, so that if you don't know these people, or if you're not in their good books, you do not have access to Netflix and access to the support that Netflix has to offer the
Right,
local producers. So
right.
I would like to see a situation where that changes and where everybody has an opportunity to reach out to these people and get the support they need. Also, I really like the what you said about local film. What do you call them? The people like Iroko and no
Yeah,
people like
people
working
like
like
that. You
Netflix.
yes, you don't want them. You don't want them being swallowed up. You don't want
Yes,
them
yes,
so intimidated to the point where we need to create employment. You know, we
yes,
need to create also pride in our
yes,
heritage and what we can do. You know, before Netflix came, there was Iroko. You know,
yes.
that's like a Netflix. You know, that's what it is. So
Mhm,
my thing is just to piggyback off what you said about.
mhm.
I heard that thing about Netflix. Without calling names, I also know of a certain clique. You know, and
Mhm.
sometimes those are things that would happen before eventually people realize, like, okay, wait, you know what? We need to disband this. You know, it's not fair.
Yes,
You know, but right now, yes,
yes,
it's all about a clique. You know, and you're blacklisted if you're not part of that clique. Yes, we need. It's, you see, Netflix isn't going to change unless we change. We have
mhm,
to change. Nigerians have to change. The
yes,
players back there on that soil has to change. The artists, the producers, the directors, the crew, you know, all those people, they all need to change and say, hey, look, Netflix will work with you. However, these are our policies. Those
yes,
things have to come in. Or Netflix is going to go in there and do what they, it's a business. It's not personal.
yes.
But when you're going into a country and they give you carte blanche to do whatever you want to do,
Mhm.
you're going to do it. You're there to make money. However, if you come into a country and there are policies, there are ways to make business, well, they
Yes.
will toe the line. It's like it's like Iroko coming here and wanting to maybe stream Hollywood movies, but there are
Mhm,
policies in place, you
mhm.
know. So it's not. So it's up to those people back in Nigeria to do
Make
what they need to
policies
do to
that support.
protect, yeah,
Yeah, and
to
protect.
protect
Yeah,
their integrity, you know, and protect their rights. They all should have policies in place. You know, no one person should have a monopoly. That's
yeah.
not good. That's not good. That, if they're not careful, is going to kill the industry.
Okay, I will definitely reach out to Zeb Ejiro and those godfathers who found us, who made us into the stars we became. I'll definitely reach out to them and
Yeah.
talk to them about their participation or their
Mhm.
choices in terms
Right.
of making policies to support
Right.
the local
Right.
and homegrown
Yeah.
producers and those.
Balance. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So let me talk to you about social media. In our time, it was VHS, right? Can you imagine if there was social media in our time?
Girl.
Oh my
Girl.
goodness. There will be a forest fire kind of effect, you know? So
Hmm.
let's talk about social media today. We see kids get on social media um, and display an inability to use it, right? Because it is there it is there as a tool to promote a cause, to promote your business, to promote a brand, all right? But what we see on social media today goes, it is like borderline not good, right? Because we see a lot of fighting, a lot of things that will cause people to be depressed. People abuse each other, like name calling. Social media has become like where you don't want to be if you want to keep your sanity. What comments do you have to make on social media, and what advice would you have to our children, our young people, who engage in all these social media wars?
Yeah, the thing about social media is it's got its good and it's got its bad.
Yes.
And sometimes the bad is starting to really outweigh the good. You know, it
Mm-hmm.
can be used as a marketing tool and also for advertisements and what have you. And that's true. Those are the good parts. But the thing about social media also now, it's profit driven. You know, if you're
Yeah.
not, so people are doing anything to have a following, to have a viral video, to be relevant, and they're not being relevant for sometimes the right things.
Mm-hmm.
um it's, to me, to really tell you the truth, it's like, I don't know how we can fight it.
Mm-hmm.
The truth being that I was talking with my friends not too long ago, because we all have grown kids now, and then we're like, oh my God, the challenges of having to, how do you tell your kids about the importance of school and good ethics, and following, you know good work ethics and whatever, when you have Instagram stars, or Insta, whatever they call them,
Overnight stars.
overnight stars, you have those, and there are people telling you, now what's the big deal. Okay, this talk actually came because a friend of mine, the daughter wants to drop out of college. We're like,
No.
what? And because she got on Instagram and she wants to brand her own thing. And well, I mean, eventually, what are the parents going to do? She's like, look, I'm over 18. Okay, I'm already in college. She's in her 20s. And I'm like, this is what I'm going to do. And then what we came to was like, you're just going to have to support her, to what, not, not everyone's for college. But the truth of the matter is, it's a slippery slope. We're going into
Mhm.
a generation of people that think differently from us.
Yes.
During this talk, I said the time will come that will have presidents or people in office that have sex tape is no big deal to them anymore. People are taking off their tops. So you have people running for offices. If you dig deep enough, you're going to find where they're topless or they've engaged in some kind of, explicit material. So, you just have to keep talking to your kids and hopefully that they hear you, and you have to pray. You really have to pray. They have a different set of rules from how we grew up. Okay.
Mhm.
We are women, and there are people like us of a certain age. It wasn't growing up, it was different. First of all, we didn't have social media, but social media it's kids are, even kids in high school, kids in elementary school, everyone's taking pictures. Girls are sending nudes, guys are sending the lower part of their bodies.
Those are the weapons of war, But after a certain time, it would not matter anymore because, like you said, everybody has something like
Everybody
that
has something,
in the
so
kitty.
we just have to keep talking. We have to keep like, please, these things, because now when you're being hired, people go onto your social media.
Mm-hmm.
People go into it. That's how they, you got to keep it clean, at least
Mm-hmm.
for a certain. But I'm sure it's. I don't know. I just think it's not a battle that we can really win. That's me.
Yeah, one of our viewers suggests that there should be social media education. It would be nice if some people got together and made some kind of book available online and otherwise on how to really use social media effectively.
But
To
that's there. But that's there.
okay,
It's always been. They do that even in schools. That's there. If you're
mhm.
talking about us,
Yes, us
doing that. Okay,
Nigerians.
then oh well, oh okay,
Yeah,
yeah, that's
considering
a
our environment and stuff.
oh
Mhm.
yeah, I hear yeah,
That
Nigeria,
that might work.
Nigeria
Yeah.
needs some awareness program, like
You know,
yeah.
something that really, really disturbs me, even though news and social media expose, even though it's not a, it renders those things not as shocking anymore. It really annoys me to see people in Nigeria like do sex exposés on women just because they are trying to shame them or subjugate them in some way. And some time back, remember there was a rumor about a woman who jumped off the bridge because her lover had exposed her nudes, and there was a politician who dropped out of a race because somebody had exposed her nudes, and a beauty queen was shamed because somebody had exposed a video of her having, in a private moment with somebody, some lover or something like that. I think that this is something that maybe we should make a movie on, and really talk about the unfairness of it all, because I don't think that it is fair to put the women in a position like that, and also dig up or follow up on how to give legal teeth to situations like that, so anybody that finds themselves in situations like that will know how to handle it, right? What
I
do you
totally agree. No, no, I totally agree because even here now, if
Mhm.
you send revenge, it's called revenge porn, or you send pictures,
Yes.
it's
Yeah.
jail time. Okay, you're gonna pay a
Yes.
fine, you go to jail. So we
Hmm.
need that also in Nigeria, and I'm totally on board because it's a double standard.
Yeah.
It's easy to say stop sending pictures, but that's not necessarily it. People have rights.
Mhm.
So if people wanna, and this is the thing, they send pictures to people that they at that point in time they had a good relationship with, and then
Yes.
things are no longer, they just well, you know what, in America, and I'm sure in some other parts of the world, people go to
Hmm.
jail. So we need to
Hmm.
bring that, like you said, give it legal teeth.
Hmm.
Yeah, women are just, and women, I've said this before, and I'm actually going to, while I'm here now, I'm going to invite her people. So you guys make sure she comes to my comes because I'm going to be interviewing you too. But I also, it's very important to me that women stand together.
Hmm.
There is power in numbers.
Yes.
And women need to know that it's about time. That we just know we should stand, and we have so many educated women, enlightened women. We just need to stop tearing each other down and just know
Hmm.
that, because this thing you talked about, they're not doing it to men. Why aren't they showing their stuff? Why women? So we have to take power back. Having
Yeah.
said that, I'm not saying please picket offices or throw stone. No, please, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that we need to create awareness, and it's very important to me to give our girls coming behind us a voice.
Yes. How do we do that? How do we give them a voice? Empowering them, right?
Yes,
Educational. Talk
yes,
talk about that.
awareness,
Yes.
education, and people like you and me that've got platform to talk.
Yeah.
I don't care. Shame the men. I
Mhm.
came out and I did an expose, if you will, on what happened to me. And that's 30 plus years ago. I know I'm dating myself right now, but, whatever. Okay. But eventually I did, because this discourse is starting to change, our mothers will not let us talk. It's like, don't worry
Yes.
about it.
Conspiracy of
Oh,
silence.
yes. But you can't be silent because it
Hmm.
just keeps on taking power from you and empowering those that are doing wrong. Women need to start talking. And when women talk, because the first thing you do is you go to another woman. Please
Hmm.
do not deride her. Do not make fun. Do not support her. Find a way to be there for her and how
Yes.
she can get, be treated right.
Yes.
But women, we need to start with and especially those of us now that have got platforms. You're talking about social media. A lot of us
Hmm.
do. Let's start using it. So
Yes.
when those girls see us and they're like, oh well, she's fine. If oh okay, then I'm okay. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So
Yes.
yeah.
All right. So talking about social media, my children said to me, "Mommy, Nobody's interested in all this government talk you go and go on Instagram to do, and all these health programs you go on Instagram to do. Nobody wants to want to see fashion. We want to see shoes. We want to see we want to see how people live, how other
No,
people live, you
no,
know.
no.
So even though they say that, I find they listen, because if you look at the demographics, if you look at the number of people who watch those videos, you'll be surprised. So actually, people are listening. So, like you said, it is important to use our platform as voices to empower women.
Yeah.
Also important, equally important, is the way we all take care of ourselves. There's no excuse for a woman to look beat down and tore up in today's world. If our children see us looking like that, they're not going to be motivated to be like mommy, or to be
Yeah.
like that lady, or to,
Hmm.
we
Yeah.
gotta look good. We gotta
Yeah.
present strong,
We got to
successful.
represent, girl. We got
You know,
to
we gotta represent. And honey, we're doing it good. Look at us.
Woo! I just
Oh,
realized I'm looking now. Of course, I'm trying to read without my glasses, trying to front,
uh-huh. Oh,
and
nothing
I
wrong with
see,
that. Yeah.
I see Nollywood diva. Look at who's Hollywood diva. If you are, I know you guys know the most beautiful girl in Nigeria, Reginaaskia diva. Okay,
Oh my goodness.
talking
Yeah.
about that. Let me quickly say this.
Yes.
I first, before I met you, I remember when, the most beautiful girl thing came on, and my
Mhm.
friends and I were rooting for you. I just have to say this because they're like, oh, you
Oh,
didn't
thank
tell her.
you.
I know we never, I don't think we ever talked about it even when we were on set. We were,
No.
it was the same when you did with, uh, who won? Her name just went off me. Bianca. It was Bianca.
Uh-huh.
And then we're like, no, we want Regina to win, the Vicing girl. And then eventually, when she dropped and I was like, yes. The reason I'm saying that now, if they were allowing us back then to vote, like call it
Mm-hmm.
like they do American Idol, we would
Mm-hmm.
have won. And I'm
Um,
friends with Bianca though. I've
that's
met her over the
nice.
years,
And
but
she's
it's
doing very
nothing
well.
personal. Oh
Yes.
yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
We all took whatever we were given and we ran with it. And the story today is that we made successes out of our lives,
Yeah.
and we encourage the young women who are coming after us to do same. No matter what, if it seems like you're taking one step backward, make it a springboard to catapult yourself forward. All
So
right.
be it. Yeah.
So we have to keep encouraging our women, keep encouraging our girls, keep presenting Nollywood in a way that authentically tells our story.
Yeah.
Because if other people write our stories, they're going to write us down. We must write our stories in
Yeah.
the way that really shows who we are, the
Yeah.
brave people, the courageous women, the empowered women, the educated people that we are, and
Yeah.
not lose sight of our culture. All
True.
right. Talking about our culture, we must preserve the good parts of it and do away with the
Mm-hmm.
bad parts of it
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
that have to do
Yeah.
with subjugation.
Yeah.
Um, Amazing. It was a very nice interview.
Thank
Thank you for
you.
talking with me today. I want you to give to our viewers parting words of encouragement, especially to our female viewers who may have experienced some unpleasant, things, because living in Nigeria is hard enough. The policies, the circumstances, the economy, the social life, everything is just so subjugating, especially rough on the woman. It is sad that that country is the way it is right now, right? What words of encouragement do you have for women out there who might be listening to us, who might be going through changes, living in there? What words of encouragement would you have for them?
So this is what I will say. You don't have to accept no. And just very quickly, I remember when I did my movie Flesh and Blood, a lot of people told me no. They told me no, and that's one thing women have to struggle with. Sometimes we're not taken seriously,
Mhm.
people, especially men, because
We're not taken seriously. That's a
they're
big
not.
one.
They're
Yeah.
not. They don't see beyond your talking. They're looking at your body parts. They're looking at your chest. It's
True.
true. They're looking at your chest. They're looking at your mouth. You're saying something. They don't do the same thing to men. But you
Mhm.
don't need to. You don't need to accept no. You
Mhm.
don't need to accept no. There are
Mhm.
ways to just keep trying. Keep trying. Keep Be truthful to yourself. And if anything happens to you, people, there are people that, yeah, not everyone, I don't want to use a broad stroke and say all women, all men are bad. Find those
Mm-hmm.
that will listen to you, that will encourage you. Okay. There will be those that will tell, they're naysayers, and that's their job. You do yours. You know,
Mm-hmm.
people, they will tell you no, they'll tell you you can't do it. They're doing their thing. They can't see beyond. They just can't, they don't have the vision that you have.
Mm-hmm.
Find those that will encourage you, those that are in your corner, and just keep moving. Just keep doing it. You will get there. You will
Mm-hmm.
get there. You know, people say hard work. I know we're living in the age of social media. Hard work still pays. It does. It's fine. It's fine. You know.
I
And
know, I know. I said it was closing, but something came to my mind. I'm not going to close yet. Something another question. Hard work and honest labor.
yeah.
If you talk to Nigerians about that, they'll say Namugu worry you. What do you have? What do you
Yeah.
have to say to that?
Yeah. If you want longevity, for posterity, you got to work hard. You got
Mm-hmm.
to work hard. Even working smart is working hard.
Mm-hmm.
You got to put in your dues. I mean, Regina would tell you. I mean, when you leave in a different, that's not your home country, you're gonna have
Mm-hmm.
to work. So it doesn't even matter. So, and that's one of the things that Nigerians work. Don't get me wrong,
They
but you
work
have to
hard.
work
Yeah.
hard purposefully with
Mm-hmm.
with a direction. You know where you're
Yeah.
going. Have goals, set goals, work towards them. When you cut corners, and it's in some instances you probably need to, but just know that you want to build something for posterity.
Yeah.
Women, please, girls, you know what? Looks come and go. They do. Okay. Yes, people might say, "Oh, look at Regina, look at Meze, they're looking good," and it's hard work.
It's
Okay.
hard work. I tell you.
It's hard work. But the point I'm trying to make is 20 years ago, yes, we're young, much younger.
Mhm.
But the thing is, you have to have something to fall
Yeah.
back on. You
Yeah.
have to. And we as women, Regina and I are teaching our girls, you have to have something to fall back on. Looks good, but you have to have something. And men like what's in your head. They do.
Mhm.
I'm telling you that. Those are the ones that they do. Yeah. Men do. They like smart women.
Yeah. So we would encourage them to get some kind of education and some kind of skill that will bring
Yes.
an income.
Yes, if it's hair you're making, good. Be the best hair maker. If it's
Yes.
makeup, be good. Be the best.
Yes.
Okay. If it's dressing people, be good. If it's acting, find something that you can own,
Yeah.
something that you can fall back on. Education is always good. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, you got to do it.
In terms of looking at Louis Vuittons, Gucci's, and all whatnot on the internet, I mean, we saw what happened to one of our brothers recently when the FBI moved
Oh,
him.
the hush guy.
What do you say to young people who would so readily trade their beautifully imperfect lives for Instagram life? Who will feel depressed because they're not looking like the people on Instagram? They do not have all the hush puppy money. What would you say to them?
Well, Hush Puppy just told them it's transient. It's flash in the pan. It doesn't last. Girl, please, it doesn't last.
Yeah.
It's not gonna. It's gonna bring you heartache. So
Mhm.
Hush Puppy has just given them an answer. It doesn't last. It's a young man. I mean,
Yeah.
how far has he come in a very short while? Yes, he made the name. He made the, who. But where is he? For you to have longevity means long lasting, and for
Mm-hmm.
posterity, for your kids, and even after many years later,
Mm-hmm.
you got to work hard.
Yes.
Okay, you got to work hard and smart. Okay, but for women, don't accept no. No is not
Mhm.
an option. Find a way around it.
Yes. Thank you so much. Our viewers are sending in a lot of comments. She is so posh and smart. I am proud of her. Thank
Ooh.
you, amazing, amazing. You're making a lot of sense.
Oh,
Um,
thank you. Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
to our viewers. And thank you to the amazing diva. Diva to me means divinely inspired and victoriously anointed. That's how I see.
Amen. I
Oh,
love that. You need
yes.
to send. You need to text that to me. I have to start
Yes, I
using it.
will. I
Oh,
will.
I love that. I'm
And that's
girl. See,
exactly
that's
what
all
you
about girl and pop. Anyway, you and I'll be talking behind this because you'll be seeing more of us. Okay.
are. Amen.
Thank
All
you
right. Thank
so
you for
much.
joining me today. I
Mhm.
wish you a lovely rest of your day. Okay. And I
You
look
too.
forward to whatever it is we're going to be
Oh,
chatting about.
yeah, yeah, yeah. They'll
All
see,
right.
but you and I,
Thank
yeah.
you.
Hmm.
Thank
All
you
right.
and good night.
Thank you. Thank you.
All
God
right.
bless. Bye bye.
God bless. All right, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that interview. Send in your comments and questions. Amazing will still be on hand on the timeline to answer your questions, okay? And until next Saturday, when I bring you another very interesting episode, I'd like to say to you all, be nice to each other, stay blessed, and see you next Saturday. Bye bye. All right, girl, I see you. Yes, yes.